Happy Miracle Monday. This is Dawn Petolino, your transformational coach. And Miracle Monday is where I just remind you of certain truths so that when you go out into the world, you carry a higher consciousness, a higher vibration. And it is that that begins to change and affect the things in your world, but also the people that you come across and helping them raise up in their consciousness. So, to become a miracle worker, I want to talk to you today about people whenever we feel responsible to help others or we feel responsible to uplift others. And I'm speaking a lot to the healers that I work with, a lot to the overgivers, a lot to the people that just are general uplifters. That is who they are. But what happens is when we go out into the world, if we're trying to encourage somebody, we get discouraged if we're not able to accomplish that. And so we end up feeling less than if we can't make them feel better. So there's this sense of responsibility that I don't want to leave you until you feel better. However, this is the truth you need to know about that. If we really want to affect others, we have to stay in our truth. We have to stay in the knowledge that we come from a place of peace. That our source, that who we actually are is one of empowerment, is one of no limitation, is one of peace, is one of grace, is one of wisdom and truth, of one of certainty and safety. We have to know this in our core, who we are. Why? Because that's our source. And when I'm connected to my source, I know who I am, and things don't affect me because I'm not trusting in the outer world and the illusions, what I'm seeing in this reality to affect my inner reality, which is I know I am safe, I know I am loved, and I know that this life has an unlimited abundance for me. So when I know this, when I'm connected to this, then when I meet with somebody, and I do this with my coaching clients, when they come to me with an issue or a problem that they're dealing with, it's not my job to go in and fix them and make them feel better. That's not going to work, because that would mean I would have to come down to a different reality, what the Course of Love and the Course of Miracles call an illusion. And if you like those books, if you like what I'm talking about with those books, you might want to check them out. The Course of Love talks about this house of illusion and the house of truth. And if people are living in the illusion that this reality is all there is, then they're not connected to the higher consciousness that is unlimited, that is omnipresent, that is omniscient, and that is all giving in grace and in love. And so if they're living in this reality of this illusion and believing what they're seeing, they're also probably believing that, I'm not lovable, I'm not enough, there's not enough here. So when they're believing in the fearful mentality, we don't want to sink to the fearful mentality to enter that house of illusion with them in order to try to lift them, because we can't make real changes if we're staying in the illusion. 12-step program says you can't rearrange the furniture on the Titanic and expect it not to sink. So we can't come into the illusion to really be an uplifter, to really affect a situation, to really affect somebody else. We have to see the truth about them, just as you know that you are connected to the source that is all loving, and that you are loved, that you are cared for, that you are protected, safe, and live in a world of grace, and that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with you. You are beautiful and loved as you are. So must we see the person that we are dealing with. That in truth, there is nothing wrong with them. In truth, whatever illusion, whatever little chaos they're dealing with, we have to know the truth for them. That their higher source, their higher power, their inner being is using this situation to help raise their consciousness, and they'll figure it out. There's nothing wrong here. They're growing in their consciousness, and they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. We have to see them in their truth. We have to see them that they are loved. We have to see them already whole. It's like when I think of this like little kids when they get upset about something, usually we look at a little kid and we say, honey, you are fine. There's nothing wrong with you. And we mean it. Now, to see the person that might be coming to you with complaining about their life, complaining about circumstance, it's not that they're not going through it. We can have compassion for what they're going through while we maintain that whatever they're going through, they will be able to handle it because they have an inner resource. They have an inner source that they are connected to that is working towards them reaching a higher good, a higher place. And there is a gift in this, and this situation is only forwarding them. But there's nothing wrong with them. As long as we think there's something wrong with them, we've entered the illusion. And now there's not going to be a real effect here. Because the only power there is the power of source and the power of love. So our job is to stay in our own vibration. Our job is to stay in that truth of who I am. And then when I meet you, I must hold that vision of there's nothing wrong with you. I'm not going to buy into this mess that you're showing me. I can have compassion that they're going through something, but I'm not going to buy into the fact that they are less than. Not on my watch. You are whole and you are complete. And I will see you as such. And I will see the situation as a means to bring that consciousness to you. And when I do that, then whatever words I say, whatever actions I do, come from a different source, a different vibration, a different dimension, a different reality of love. That is a higher consciousness. Course of Love says you don't enter relationship yourself. There's you, there's me, and there is the consciousness between us, and that is what changes everything. So my job is to maintain and master my own vibration, my own sense of peace, my own, I can, like I said, can have compassion for where somebody is, but I can't go in thinking something needs solved. Instead, I go in knowing the truth that it already is solved. And from there, the ideas, the words, the actions that come from us will have a true effect in the situation. But it is not our responsibility to uplift anyone so much as it is our responsibility to stay intact with our own source of being in the midst of a situation that seems to be in disharmony. When you reside in the house of truth, that's where our devotion is. I have to stay in the house of truth, and I can't just pull somebody there. I have to maintain myself and allow them, when they're ready and when they're open, they are rising to that place too. But it's not my job to fix them, and it's not my job to make them happy, and it's not my job to alleviate anything. My job is to see them as truly whole and lovable, and that they are working through something right now that is raising them to a higher consciousness where they too know that they are whole and lovable. So your Miracle Monday today is to go into any situation where you are afraid maybe of not having harmony there, or you see somebody who is experiencing disharmony, and not to enter into the chaos with them, but to hold to the center of truth for them, so they can see in your own eyes a reflection of, I will be okay because I am loved and I am connected to an unlimited source of love and grace. Hold it in your own frequency, and that is how you affect others. Happy Miracle Monday. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like it, share it, check out my website, www.dawnpetalino.com, where you can see my best-selling book, get some blogs, get some meditations, and other resources that you might need. Happy Miracle Monday, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.